I don't know. I don't understand how. I don't understand how. What's up? What's up, Bumpty? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I don't understand. They talking about stock up on Lamar for to win the MVP. However, uh, I don't understand how. No sound. Hold on. Testing. Sound should be there. Sound should be here, guys. Okay. Good morning, Vic. Good morning. No, they're just talking about okay. Just just picture it the other way around. Okay. I think and they're all saying I think it's Josh Allen right now, Josh Allen. But just think for a second. Lamar Jackson is leading Josh Allen in every single category. Every single category. Josh Allen, you're right here. Josh Allen is winning. Lamar Jackson is beating Lamar Jackson in every single category. Passing yards, touchdowns, rushing yards, everything except running the ball in from the 1 yard line, which Josh has a lot of. One game, he got 3 of them from the 1 yard line. Now, how in the world is Lamar still behind Josh Allen when Lamar scored 5 touchdowns this past week, and Lamar and Josh Allen scored 150 yards. Now flip that. And Lamar had 150 yards and 1 touchdown versus a tougher team, and Josh having 5 touchdowns versus the Patriots. And what would the narrative be this morning? You cannot tell me they don't have bias. You cannot tell me they do not have bias. You cannot tell me I don't know if they're told what to say or whatever, but you cannot tell me they don't have bias. How can somebody that's not even winning in any category be so far ahead of somebody else? And the only thing that they have is narratives. We didn't expect Buffalo. Why didn't you expect Buffalo? I don't care if you expected Buffalo to win. You didn't expect the Jets to be crap. You expected Aaron Rodgers to be the best quarterback in the AFC behind Patrick Mahomes. You expected a whole lot of stuff. You can't base this off of what you expected at the beginning of the season. Nobody expected Minnesota to be anything. Is anybody talking about Sam Darnold? I mean, any case you bring up is just like bias toward Josh Allen. It's crazy. It's insane. And especially, I'll tell you, last year, Dak Prescott was leading the MVP conversation, just leading. Went to Buffalo. Was not Dak Prescott's fault whatsoever. Buffalo ran all over us, stopped our run, and shut us down as a team. And it destroyed Dak Prescott's MVP. Well, he's out of the race now. But Josh Allen, it doesn't happen for him. It's they want it so bad for him, it's ridiculous. And they know this is the season because this is the one season that he's not throwing interceptions like crazy. Oh man, what happened? Hold on, y'all right up in my mouth. There we go. Y'all all up in my grill. I'm glad it was on a little screen. Yeah, his PR team is doing some serious work right now. Even Darnold. I mean, you can't discount what Darnold is doing. No, I'm not. I'm not saying that he's not playing great because he absolutely positively is. But his season this year is very similar to Jalen Hurts' season last year. And they dump all these touchdowns. Like, Jalen Hurts and Josh Allen, they scored all these touchdowns. But what they don't include is they're the finishers for their football team. Jalen Hurts has no reason to be the finisher for his football team, but he's still the finisher for his football team. You're over here, sorry. Jalen Hurts is the finisher for his football team. And so is Josh Allen. So when they get inside the 10-yard line, the quarterback is a main asset of getting that ball into the end zone. And if it ends up with, especially with Philadelphia, if it ends up within the 1 to 3 yard line, the quarterback is taking the ball on into the end zone or whatever. Hurts has stolen I don't know how many touchdowns for Saquon Barkley, who is the rightful MVP, by the way. Who is the rightful MVP right now? I can tell you straight up, Philadelphia wouldn't be anything this year without Saquon. With that great roster, they would not. They would be struggling mightily without Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley has clearly been the best player in the NFL this year, jumping over people backwards. Josh Allen is playing great, but you can't discount what Saquon Barkley is doing. Not at all. Oh, why do I have my league up? This is all I care about today, guys. You see my Ducks are where's the top 25? You see my Ducks are securely right there at number 9. I lost the game to Stanford. I shouldn't have lost that game to Stanford. You know what happens to me? He started if I'm playing someone and you start stretching the rules and doing stuff that's questionable and playing like they don't play, in real life and all that kind of stuff, then I get really perturbed. And in this game, I had him down, and it was in the third quarter, and he went for a 4th and 6 from his own 30-yard line in the third quarter, and I just lost it. I was like, that's trash gameplay, and I didn't get myself out of that mentality until it was too late or whatever. So I lost that game 21-24, and I threw a fit because I didn't like him or whatever. But he lost yesterday. He's in Stanford. I don't know if he's going to get into the playoffs yet. But here's the bracket right now. I'm securely right there at number 9. So I'm not going to fall. I'm going to be in the playoffs. That's why I'm up early so I can practice or whatever. But all these guys are just like the Coastal Carolina guy, incredible. The LSU guy, he's great, and his team is even greater. The Michigan guy, I beat him last year pretty handedly, and he came back this year with a vengeance. So he's good. So I don't think I may get to this quarterfinal round, but for me to get to the semifinals or the national championship and win a natty, it's just out of my mind. That's not going to happen. So I got to focus on. I think I'm going to end up playing Texas. If I'm not playing Texas, I'll be playing probably Georgia or North Carolina, one of those guys. But I think I'm going to be staying right there in that spot, and I'm hoping for the best. That's gameplay. Exactly. I can't stand trash gameplay. See. Yeah. Yeah. You guys. Kenny Pickett is not a good backup quarterback. But hey, real fan one. You can't put that game on a struggling quarterback. Saquon still got a lot of yards. Saquon still did well, but you won that game. The real fan won. Well, yeah, sorry. The old camera is over there. I'm doing this morning, but you won that game. Real fan won. Your wide receiver lost that game for you. Don't lose the fact of Devontae dropped the ball and Pickett put it right in his hands to win the football game. So as much as you want to say about how the quarterback didn't perform or whatever, that quarterback put the ball in the hands of the receiver, and the receiver is the one who's lost it. Glad I'm not running the Cowboys. I play to win. You got what? Hey, you play to win the games. Hey, you play to win the games. Oh, my lights are not on. I was like, something's wrong. Watch, everything's about to look whole lot better in just a second. Hold on. Turn these lights on. Boop, boop, boop. Much better. Ah, light. Let there be light. Oh yeah, this is gonna be. I'm gonna probably stream some of these games because like last night, um, Michigan played Wisconsin last night for the championship, the Big Ten championship, and Wisconsin beat Michigan. Wisconsin, I can't beat. I can't beat that dude. That dude is nasty. So he beat Michigan pretty handily last night. And North Carolina lost to Kansas State, and North Carolina had him down. That was a great game. And North Carolina had him down, and he was doing an option to win the game. He had like 2 minutes left to go in the game, and he was doing an option, and I think he froze because the defensive guy got between him and the running back, and he pitched the ball anyway, and he pitched the ball directly into the defensive guy's hands, and he took the ball all the way to a touchdown. I was like, oh, I know he's hurting, because you freeze sometime and you hit buttons when you don't need it, when you don't supposed to hit the buttons when you freeze or whatever, when you see something. And I know that's what he did, because if his quarterback had not pitched and went running, it was a straight path to the end zone, because his defender had left the front of him and went around between him and the running back to anticipate the pitch. So if he didn't pitch, he would have won the game. It came down to that. That's crazy. But I think I'm gonna show him live if I'm not busy. But this is, I mean, I can't think about the Cowboys much right now. I got this game on and I think my season to be over by Sunday. So when we're playing the Eagles, my season to be over. But man, you can see how losing, if you look at how the where the teams are with the draft right now, you can see how losing really would not have helped us much. You know what I'm saying? You have a log jam. I wish I had a printout of it, but there's a log jam of teams, like the top 10, the bottom 10 teams all have 3 and 4 wins. You know, you got the Giants with 2 wins, and everybody else is with 3 and 4 wins. We didn't start going down until when Dak went down. We already had 3 wins, so we were already in that mix, in the middle of that mix before Dak went down. So we literally could not have won any games in order for us to be like in a top 5 situation, a top 4. We had to completely lose out. And I don't know how you would feel if we had completely lost out from when we lost Dak and just lost every game. But I would be so disgusted with the Cowboys right now. It would be ridiculous. That draft pick wouldn't make me feel any better, because I would be like, man, this team is so daggum bad that a draft pick ain't going to fix it. You know what I'm saying? If we didn't win any games after we lost Dak. But the fact that we still played as a team and won so many games, and right now we're playing some of the best football in the NFL, if you don't like it, I don't know what's wrong with you. I just don't. I mean, this. Even I said this yesterday. I said it in my football chat, in this chat. I said that I'd rather have what we've had this year and the way we found out how our team can fight and how our team can play without their full roster, and how they're not one of the worst teams in the league. All that stuff is much better this year than last year, when we accidentally, by chance, backed into the playoffs, playing bad teams down the stretch, that teams that wasn't trying to win, got those easy wins, and then got into the playoffs and then got embarrassed in the playoffs. That I don't want to feel no more. This feels much better than that. By far. Yeah, what's up? Good morning, Spark. The JJ CD is good. CD is real good. I mean, he's doing well. I have the McCarthy situation is like the biggest catch-22 because of what I just said about how well we play. Like, for instance, if we were playing teams right now, if we were playing teams, and you know how the end of seasons pan out all the time, and there's some teams that, like, for instance, if our last 5 games was the Raiders, the Giants, the Titans, and the Jaguars. You know what I'm saying? If it was 5 of the worst teams in the league, right? And we went and we beat all 5 of those worst teams in the league that front office really are not trying to win. And they're pulling players like the Saints last night. Saints had players out there they had never heard of before. So they're all those teams are not trying to win. If we went out there and we beat those, we like to call them Rudy Poot teams. If we beat those teams, then I wouldn't feel anything. I would be saying we're ruining our draft pick. And that would be literally ruining our draft pick if we did that. But we're not beating those teams. We're beating teams that are going to possibly be in the playoffs. We're beating the Commanders. We're beating we pretty much beat the Bengals. If it wasn't for that kick, we beat another good a team that's playing extremely well, the Panthers. We beat the Buccaneers that should be in the playoffs. Hopefully, it'll be in the playoffs. So we've been playing some good football, and now these last 2 games are against division rivals that need these games. And if you beat a team that actually needed a game, that feels good. That feels good because you're actually taking care of playoff caliber teams with half your roster. I don't know how you could take losing over that feeling. Yeah, that's another thing. That's another thing, M Skills. M Skills says he doesn't trust the front office enough to rely on the draft. You know they're going to blow it. Well, then you don't know they're going to blow it. They might pick a Michael Parsons, but there's a good chance that the front office will blow it and not get us a great player. And we could end up with the same player at 12 that we would have got at 7 or 6 if we had tanked or whatever. So it's not, man, I'm good. But yeah, I wish I trusted the front. Me too, M Skills. I wish I trusted the front office enough to rely on a draft pick. And I'm telling you, this isn't a great draft. And the only player that I can see that could come in and immediately take your team from here to here, where a lot of receivers could. If we just get a good receiver, a possible starting receiver out of this draft to go on the other side of CD, then we can go up tremendously. But in my opinion, Ashton Genty is the only person in this draft that you can actually put him on a squad and ride him, and he can make your team better immediately. He's built like that type of running back that you want to. He's a bell cow. He's built like a bell cow. That's why I don't particularly want him in Dallas, because we're not going to use him correctly. If he goes to the Patriots will 100% use him correctly. If he goes to the Broncos will 100% use him correctly. If he goes to the Chargers will 100% use him correctly, because they have offensive-minded coaches that know how to run the football, and they believe in running the football. In Dallas, if you saw the way we melted down at the end of that game, we should have been running and we still throwing the ball with a backup quarterback that can't throw the ball as well. We're still throwing the ball like crazy in those high-pressure situations, which makes no sense to me, because even like the last game, this is what get me on McCarthy. The last game, even if we didn't get anything on those rushing plays, it would still work out better than passing. We just advanced. We just advanced. We just advanced. We just advanced. Look, we just advanced. Let's see what happened. Let's see what happens. Oh, y'all a lot. Where am I at? Did I make the seat? Who am I playing? I'm about to hit the button. Who am I playing? Who am I playing? Oh, I got that dude from North Carolina. He's so good. I won't get past the first round. I watched his game last night. I got the worst path, and then I got LSU. That's no way. There's no way I get past the quarterfinals. It would be a miracle for me to get to the quarterfinals, and it would be. There's no way I can beat LSU. I wanted to go down here, be at the bottom, somewhere at the bottom. Oh man. Ah man. Stanford made it in at 12. And I'm on the road. It's a home game for North Carolina, so I'm on the road versus North Carolina. Ugh. I know I don't have the winning attitude. I know. Spark says, if McCarthy is for sure coming back, what kind of contract we get? Excuse me. I would think at least 2-year contract for McCarthy. At least two maybe 3-year contract for him. This was a Jerry wake-up call on inept during free agency. Watch him do something. Well, you know what, Jadrian, they already set us up saying they don't have money, which I do not, for the life of me, understand. We're not the only team that has signed a quarterback for a lot of money. We're not the only team that has done that. The Jaguars did it. The Falcons did it. Last year, a bunch of teams did it. This year, a bunch of teams are going to do it because that's what the market is. Dak Prescott will not be the highest paid quarterback in just like 5 more minutes. And those teams still can put together a roster. I don't know why once we pay Dak and CD, that's all the money. But you look over there and Hurts, who's making just a little bit less than Dak. And you got A.J. Brown, you got Devonta, and you got the defense, and you got all those people that's making money over there in Philadelphia. And we can't figure out how to make a salary cap work for us. Oh, TD, the last time I spent money on going to Dallas to a game, I think my daughter, she's 10 years old now, I think she was in my wife's belly. I actually spent money to go to see Dallas play. You over here, sorry. I spent money to see Dallas play Minnesota in Minnesota because I didn't feel like going and giving Jerry money in Jerry World. So don't worry. I've been on that not spending dime for Jerry for a long time. When I go to training camp, I would just walk past all that merchandise. He's just sucking the soul out of people getting all that money for that merchandise during training camp. And I'm like, guys, and it's so overpriced. Yeah. Mahomes just got paid, but not only that, they paid Mahomes, they paid Chris Jones. Because remember, I was begging, I was dreaming of Chris Jones coming to Dallas last year. You know, but they was able to pay Chris Jones. They were able to get help at receiver when they need a receiver this year. They wouldn't cash out. Oh, we can't get Hopkins. We can't afford Hopkins. You didn't hear that from the Chiefs. They wouldn't got Hopkins. So we'll see. Spark asks, what does your wife feel like with Minnesota feeling 13? I don't know, man. Well, you know what? Spark, I think Minnesota might get that division. Detroit's not the same Detroit as earlier. They're definitely not the same Detroit. And Minnesota they balling. They're balling right now. Sam Darnold is balling. He's not seeing ghosts right now. Yeah, it's not like the team was good enough to be a Super Bowl champion. No, no. But we know this season, this season has been a underlying blessing. So we know what we have does not suck. We know we were thinking, all of us was thinking that what we had was complete trash. A lot of us was really hoping it was real trash so we can gut out the franchise and bring something in without realizing how long it takes to put together a winner. I was looking at a post yesterday from a Washington Commanders fan, and they had a whole bunch of jerseys going back to Jason Campbell. If you remember Jason Campbell from Auburn when he used to coach quarterback the Redskins, but way before Jason Campbell, they had just lists of quarterbacks. Well, they didn't have the list. They had the actual quarterback jersey with the name on the back of who were the starting quarterbacks, and they had all the starting quarterbacks that the Washington Commanders / Redskins have had over the last, I don't know how many years, 15, 20 years, until they got their quarterback of the future with Jaden Daniels. That's crazy. But if you look at, you see Heineke, you see all those names, all the way back to Jason Campbell, all the way back to, I can't even think who was quarterback before him or whatnot. But all those quarterbacks that went through the Commanders, and they were suffering all those years trying to get a quarterback, and they finally got one, with Jaden Daniels. That is the suffering I don't want to go through. TD says all Jerry Jones cares about is money because it's, yeah. I think Jerry Jones wants to win. He does. However, the machine is built to make money. The machine is not built to win. He wants to win as a side note, but the Dallas Cowboys organization is built to make money. Okay? So if he built it to win, we would look more like the Green Bay Packers. We would look more like the Patriots. We would look more like, other teams in the league that every year you see effort. You see actual effort within the organization to win. With the Dallas Cowboys, you see it year after year. Last year was not an anomaly. Last year was just a ridiculously bad year that we didn't do absolutely nothing. But don't get it wrong. We do nothing all the time. Last year, we just like we just really needed to do something. We did nothing. That was the difference from the last year that caused the anger within us. But the fact that we did nothing, we brought nobody in. We had, in my opinion, one of the worst rosters in the league coming into the season. It was our stars that brought our roster up. It was very top heavy, our roster. Let's just say that. I was thinking it was extremely top heavy. But I'm impressed with the team. I'm impressed with absolutely I'm even impressed with McCarthy until it gets down to his game management. And his game management is so bad that it drags all of McCarthy's good down. And it's worth it because of how well we played against Tampa Bay, that we really could have lost that game simply because of his game management at the end. Yeah, Jaden might give them 15 years, or hey, he might be RG3 too though, because there has been quarterbacks in that thing that have shined for a minute and got hurt or whatever, but I can't see Jaden Daniels' play is top notch. I can't see if he's gonna play well. I can only see injury with that guy that would stop him. And his frame, he has slight of frame, but yeah, I think they got one with Jaden Daniels. I can't hate on him any longer. Hey, We don't have a first place schedule next year, Rick Charlton. So however bad our schedule is next year, Rick, the Philadelphia Eagles schedule is going to be worse, and also the Commanders schedule is going to be worse. So we have a third place schedule next year. So hey, that's no excuse. You can win your division. You're playing the same people. Like him, exactly, Spark. Like him, don't like McCarthy. We all have our issues, separate issues with McCarthy or whatever. The players did not give up on McCarthy. The players are playing for McCarthy. Yeah, he's still lied to get the job, but that means something because we saw the players give up on Wade. We saw the players give up on a lot of people. They just give up, and that's probably when losing sets in, and you have to dig yourself out of that. We don't have to dig ourselves out as nothing. We're walking into the next season with our head hands up. I'm going to training camp because of this season, not because of Jerry Jones, not because of Mike McCarthy and all them, because of how this team played. I'm going to training camp this year. Bill said, you don't think they're playing for McCarthy? They're playing. No, I don't think so because, you just don't get that negative vibe. You don't get that negative vibe about McCarthy with this team, within the confines of the wall. It's cool. And it's like Dak, too. I'm so impressed at how Dak keeps the noise out because people use Dak to make money all the time. They're struggling right now still trying to bring Dak's narrative into this thing when Dak has no narrative in this situation whatsoever. You can't bring up Dak right now for any reason, but they'll still try. But I'm really, really impressed at how he keeps the Stephen A. Smiths, all the craziness out of his ear space. And the Cowboys pretty much have done that with McCarthy too, and they're supporting him. And it's a lot of things that if you know. And this is what they know. They know we don't know how wrong the media is. I just assume they're really wrong. But they know for a fact how wrong the media is. They know for a fact, like if an interception happens, they know why the interception happens. These people on TV, they don't know why the interception happens. They don't know what the play was. They don't know what the responsibility was. They're just, talking about it as far as what they know as far as football. But they don't know what the play was and what was the intent and all the stuff. The team figures that out. And when the team goes and figures these things out, then they get their own opinions of what's going on around them. If a team is watching the media and forming their opinions of their team through the media, you got a bad player. You got a bad player. Okay, he won't be the first or last to lie. At least he let us know he lied afterwards. Yeah, Donovan Wilson made me think on safety this week because he's not nobody we really hate. We just want to upgrade him. But, man, the wood that he was laying out there and the plays that he was making, and Bland as well, man. Bland made that happen at the end of the football game. If you look at that tackle and you listen to him, because he said, I saw he was holding the ball kind of light, so I went in there and tried to get it out. And he purposely did that. That's worth money, guys. That's worth a lot of money. You can say what you want to say about Bland's covering skills or whatever, but the guy goes after the ball. He's a real ball hawk. So we don't really need two ball hawks. Trayvon Diggs, because Trayvon Diggs is an A+ ball hawk. They're A+ ball hawks. I can't say anything bad about that game when the ball is in the area. They go get it. Shoot, Jay Lewis is a top-notch ball hawk. Now they might be playing in spite of Jerry, but you also M skills. Just you have to think about it from their perspective, because we're saying their roster sucks. But in their ears, they're saying, man, the fans are saying we suck. You understand what I'm saying? When we say this, Jerry didn't do anything for this roster, the players aren't saying, yeah, Jerry didn't do anything to help this roster. The players are like saying, hey, what are y'all talking about? Well, I'm here. I can play. So I think the players are playing in spite of us more than in spite of Jerry, because we're the ones that didn't have faith in this football team. We're the ones that thought this football team, this roster was one of the worst rosters in the league. So I think they're showing this. I think they're showing us, and I appreciate it. Because we need somebody to cover, Cal. Because we need, hey, Cal, one of our ball hawks, one of our A+ ball hawks was just chasing Jamar Chase all over the field. We can't use two of those. It's just going to chase around receivers and not be able to stop them. We need somebody that's going to stop the pass. But I see what you're saying. You would want that guy that can cover. Let me rephrase it, not let you rephrase it. We don't need two corners that are only ball hawks. That's better. You got to be able to cover as well. Yeah, we had so many that they just remember what's his name from Connecticut. He jumped. He was the highest. He had the highest vertical jump. What was his name? Jones, I think. No reset button. No rebuild, guys. Do you how easy do you think a rebuilding process is, TD? I just talked about how the Commanders / Redskins were waiting like almost 20 years for their quarterback. I mean, they've been putting this team together for almost 20 years. They've been rebuilding for almost 20 years. The Jets have been rebuilding for over 20 years. I mean, I don't understand how anybody would want to willfully go into that rebuilding space, knowing it is pretty much hell to get out of that rebuilding space. And then also, if TD, okay, you hire somebody to build you a house, right? And when they built the house, it was the worst. They didn't put your bathrooms in right. Your bedrooms, windows are all off. Everything is just messed up in your house. And you go, man, we can't live here. We got to start over. So you're going to start over and take everything down, and you're going to start over and call the same dadgum contractors that did it wrong the first time? That is insanity. If the Joneses and stuff tore up the Cowboys, why would you want the Joneses to rebuild the Cowboys? The only way I want a rebuilding process here with Dallas is that if the Joneses are out and somebody else comes in and give them a fresh everything. That's the only way I would want to rebuild, because I'm telling you, for them to get us at this point might be all they could do. Did I want the McCarthy fired? Man, yes, I wanted it. And that's when they should have fired McCarthy. Real Fan 1. Byron Jones, thank you, Big Green. Byron Jones couldn't come back with anything, come down with anything. Yes, I wanted McCarthy fired after the Packers game. And that was the time to do it. But no, Jerry's not going to rebuild. Also, a rebuild would be a new quarterback. And look at Chicago. And I still think Caleb Williams is like one of the best prospects we've had to come out in a long time. And Chicago gave him more than we have ever seen a rookie have coming into the league. And Chicago sucks. Chicago sucks. So not only do you have to find that quarterback, you have to find that quarterback and then still put the right things around that quarterback and still have the right coaches coaching that quarterback, or that quarterback can turn into Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence was super gifted coming in the league. Didn't get good coaching. Didn't get a great roster. Man, MS Skills says they need to take this Cooper Rush playbook and build on. You know what? M Skills, we just need to implement a run game and do that play action stuff, because that is Dak Prescott's wheelhouse. When we start going 5 wide and we depend on Dak Prescott being Tom Brady, that's just insanity to me when we can run the ball and get a better version of Dak Prescott. Yeah, no way you can trust Stephen Jones to rebuild a organization. No way. Aikman as a GM might be okay. In a real like Aikman as like John Elway's position in Denver. I could see that, because he's being an a-hole behind the scenes, and it'd be a good a-hole because, and also that's where structure is actually needed. It's really needed right there, and Aikman's gonna give you serious structure. Yeah, bro. No, TD. No. We've had 12 and 5s, 12 and 5, 12 and 5, and this season we're going to be teetering around 500 with half the roster. I don't know what you're saying. That does not constitute tearing apart. That's highly emotional thinking to tear it apart when you've went 12 wins, 12 wins, 12 wins, and then in a season you got dealt with a whole bunch of injuries. Your quarterback goes down. You have your pass rusher only half the season. Your other pass rusher is down. Your starting corner only played a few games. Everything went bad in this season, and you still hover around 500, and you want to just gut the franchise, and take the key pieces out of the franchise and take a chance on somebody else. The way this defense was playing, you would rather the defense that beat the living crap out of Tampa Bay, you would rather tear that defense up than build off of that defense? Yeah, Joe Burrow, great season. Team sucks around him. He's trolling. But yeah. Y'all, this little boy right here, he plays dangerous games out there. He's got to be trolling because ain't no way. Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy. My honest opinion, Parsons has said all the right things. He's done all the right things. You can see he's playing his behind off, getting held on every play. He's being a leader when there's no other leaders left in the locker room, really. I think Micah is earning everything. He's earning whatever he's going to get right now. And I was actually entertaining the thought, earlier when I thought we would not win a game, when I thought we were horrible, I was entertaining the thought of trading Micah or getting rid of Micah so we can get some draft picks and all that kind of stuff. Now, to get a player that has the ability to screw up a game like Micah has, you got to wait years. There's not one in this draft. Felt like I heard the dog. Have to fix that offensive line. And Julio, you have to fix that offensive line through free agency. Stephen Jones. Stephen Jones, you have to fix the offensive line through free agency. And you can't do it being cheap on free agency. You have to be smart during free agency. You have to get the player that you know will help you. You can't do the bargain thing like, oh, I can get this player for this much or this player for this much. No, if you see a player that you know will come on our offensive line and be a help, you pay for that player, and then you deal with the financial ramifications afterwards. You know what I'm saying? You go light somewhere else and go high with rookies at another position. But you need to bring in offensive lineman Stephen Jones that can play immediately. You cannot bring in two rookies and expect for your quarterback to stay healthy and not get stressed out back there in the pocket. You can't bring in rookies. You can't bring in a rookie left tackle and be like ready. It's not going to happen. Even Larry Allen got tossed as a rookie by Reggie White. Just made him look ridiculous. It was so funny and scary at the same time. Like, how can a man throw Larry Allen? How can a grown man throw a man like that? But that's what happens when you come into the league when it's hand-on-hand combat. That's what those guys got to learn, the offensive and defensive linemen. So, no, we gotta find people. We got to find a real defensive end that rushes the passer and stops the run. And we can use Micah at linebacker, and we can use Micah with his hand in the dirt. We can have them both. But Daniels took rookie of the year Sunday, and I'm scared of him moving forward. Yeah, why trade the best player on defense away? I know. It's just, his he can destroy games. And not only that, he focused the offense. As long as we have Parsons on our defense, the offense is going to have to focus on Parsons all week and not focus on our defensive scheme. They have to scheme against Parsons because Parsons can mess up their offense single-handedly if they don't account for him. At least you be paying money, exactly. At least you pay money to have offensive line to protect your quarterback's blind side. Or, M Skills, you just put Tyler Smith back at left tackle. He can do it. You have a player that can do it. And guard is much easier. It's much easier position. So kick Tyler out there. It's going to be hard to find anybody in free agency to come in that's going to be able to play left tackle better than Tyler. It's going to be impossible for you to draft somebody that's going to come in here and play left tackle better than Tyler. I don't know whose idea it was to put 60 there at left tackle. That person needs to be fired from football, not from the Cowboys. He needs to be fired from football. I mean, that didn't make any sense. You have somebody that played right tackle at his college. Who barely played right tackle at his college. He didn't play that much. So he barely played right tackle, no left tackle. But when Dallas gets him, we see him as a left tackle, the most important guy on the offensive line to protect your quarterback. And started him there this year. That was probably the dumbest thing the Cowboys did this year. He had no business starting left tackle. He has no business continuing being left tackle. He needs to go over to right tackle, and he might be a very good right tackle. He might be just as good as the right tackle we have right now. All right. Let me go get my stuff ready. Oh, let me look at this. Actually, I'm going to get off and I'm going to come back on in just a little bit because I'm going to watch my games from I'm gonna feed the other dogs, and I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna watch my games because I played. Let me show. My last two games were smokers. Notre Dame. This Notre Dame guy, he's been in our league since it started. He's an OG, and I usually get smoked by him like all the time. And don't let this score fool you. It's 38. It's 38-17, but I didn't take over. Look at the numbers. Not until the fourth quarter did I start going away. Cause it was literally tied up in the third, and in the fourth quarter, my boys went off in the fourth quarter. So that was straight up good lucky play. And then the same thing was against UConn. This is another one of my boys. He's been in the league for a while, and he's just building up UConn. He chose UConn because he wants to build up a team, and he's doing a great job. He doesn't have the four stars. I'll have a few 5 stars, but I got a whole bunch of 4 stars, whole bunch of elite players. My roster is like stacked. His roster is not near my roster, but he's a very good player. He's so good that he beat me. He was in my division, Madden. He beat me every single game last year. I never beat him in Madden last year at all. He beat me every single game. So I had to beat him. But it was the same thing. We were pretty much, I had him by 4 points, going into the fourth quarter. And then the fourth quarter, I did another 21-0 in the fourth quarter. So that was good. And then I tell you the game I lost was this one. Again, you see how look at my zeros. That's after you see the zeros. That's after he went for it on fourth down and on his own 30-yard line, fourth and 6 on his own 30-yard line. I was livid. And I just couldn't gather myself back because I was like, this dude ain't nothing. He's a cheeser. He's a blah, 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 blah. So might have to play him again soon. And then Utah, I had a real good game on Utah versus Utah. So I'm going to get the dog straight, and I'm going to come back, and I'm going to watch these games over again, and then I'm going to practice. All right, guys. You guys have a great day. All right? Enjoy.